Have you ever been on the edge of your seat, dodging and weaving through a dark and unforgiving world, only to have the game's pace change drastically as you approach the end game? And if so, you've probably played Path of Exile 2. This game has taken the ARPG universe by storm, with its emphasis on dodge rolls and tough boss battles. However, there are concerns that its endgame approach might be shooting itself in the foot. And in December 6, 2024, the early access version of Path of Exile 2 was released, allowing players to dive into the game's later stages, experiment with various classes and abilities, uncover the game's complex mechanics, and much more. As the year progresses leading up to its full release, it's expected that there will be many additional features and improvements. It's also possible that changes may occur over time to make Path of Exile 2 the best possible version of the game, despite launching in a strong early access state. The game already has some noticeable issues, one of which is the abrupt change in the pace and strategy of the endgame compared to traditional ARPGs. It could be argued that Path of Exile 2 uses several Souls-like aspects and elements, including the removal of loot upon death and the respawning of monsters. The emphasis on dodge rolls and challenging boss battles in Path of Exile 2 may indicate that the developers are focusing on a unique gameplay experience compared to the original game, that because the current endgame structure could potentially change this quickly. In Path of Exile 2, challenging and prolonged battles are a significant aspect of the game's character, as they have always been highlighted in its promotional materials. Even the developers at Grinding Gear Games found it tough to overcome bosses. Often succumbing to them often seed C. With early access came a much larger player base than GGG's playtest could accommodate, with around 400 to 500,000 daily players on Steam alone. Consequently, parts of the game for experienced or veteran players may seem straightforward, even those challenging boss fights that previously required mastering dodge rolling and memorizing attack patterns. In Path of Exile 2, players have quickly identified optimal builds that are excessively powerful compared to others, leading some of them to be adjusted. And however, while players are using top-tier items and abilities to exploit the game and create less challenging encounters, the current endgame setup can make enemies extremely aggressive, swift, and hazardous in tight spaces due to death triggers and instant kills. Contrarily, the game's design promotes a more measured pace, allowing players to strategize encounters, but the most effective survival tactic in the game is to act against this norm. In essence, GGG now faces a predicament, as they could maintain the status quo, adjust enemy modifiers to match player speed better, or modify safe and powerful builds to prevent distant screen clearance by players' safe and powerful level. The last option might face resistance given the controversy surrounding skill reductions in Path of Exile 2. However, eliminating modifiers that increase monster speed could enhance the strategic battles more in line with the campaign. Nonetheless, spectators will need to stay tuned to see if any adjustments occur. And so as we move closer to the full launch of Path of Exile 2, let's all hope GGG finds the right balance to ensure the game maintains and the challenge, while also satisfying its player base and its commitment
to a unique ARPG experience.
Here's a lighthearted joke to conclude. What you call a Path of Exile player who's constantly dodging monsters. A delete button. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time, don't forget to like and subscribe to keep up with our latest content. Happy gaming.